Hello, guys. Welcome to Off the Boba podcast. Today, here we have Daniel joining us today. I'm the host. My name is Miles.
And I'm the co-host, Brandon. Thank you all the viewers for watching.
So, we're doing something different today. Our podcast has moved on to Zoom for this one because our guest is not within our reach due to distance.
Nope.
Baby, come back. So, Daniel, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Daniel. I was originally born in San Francisco, but moved to Seattle. Lived there for most of my life. Went to college at the University of Washington, Seattle, where I did computer science. I interned and thereafter went to work full-time at the company that I now work at, which is Stripe. And I'm working there remotely out of San Francisco. And so, yeah, happy to be here.
Well, that's awesome. That's nice, actually, very nice. Now I gotta ask, do you like anime? I gotta ask because I enjoy watching anime. I don't watch as much as I did before, something that I wish I did now. But I'm always in the market to find something interesting to watch.
Oh, I think I dabble in anime occasionally, not as much as I used to in high school and not as often, but every now and again I like to dive into a nice series that I find on Netflix. My most recent watch was Hunter x Hunter, which I've been meaning to watch for a long time, because I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it was very, very well worth going through it. It was one of the longer animes that I've watched. My most recent sort of favorite have been The Great Pretender, which is a Netflix original. It's more of like an action crime kind of anime where people are kind of pretending to be con men and conning people out of a bunch of money.
Oh, that's interesting.
Sort of hilarity that comes out of that. So yeah, I sort of watch on and off. It's sort of one of my guilty pleasures, if you will.
Same here, yeah.
Nice. I like that.
What was your first anime?
My first anime.
Probably
So
like way back ago.
my first, I'll sort of break it up into two. So my first anime before I was even aware that anime was a thing was Dragon Ball Z.
Of
I thought
course.
that was just a regular cartoon that I would watch on Cartoon Network. Like there was nothing anime about it in my mind. I just
Yeah, I know,
enjoyed
right?
watching it, like the fighting and the action and the effects were something that I got really drawn to. My first awareness of anime was in middle school. And
Mhm.
that's when one of my friends got me into this show called Van Helsing, which is
Oh
about
yeah.
like vampires and, very violent, very gory. And so
Oh
through
gosh.
that, I got introduced to a lot of different types of subgenres. So like the sort of action anime, the sort of, slice of life kind of animes, which I actually enjoy more than the kind of bloody and gory ones. And
Makes
so
sense.
one of my more enjoyable animes that I watched very, very early on was Death Note, because it was, not too gory, but also had like a good amount of world building, storyline, character development, mystery, and sci-fi. And those are the kinds of ones that I see in my current favorites, like Attack on Titan. So
Oh yeah.
Oh
Partic-
gosh.
Going back to the Death Note thing, that one's a really good anime. Like outside of anime, like if again, like just if that thing was just like a movie that it was never an anime, the story itself holds pretty well, just as like a Hollywood movie or like a like a seasonal like CW show kind of thing, or like yeah.
yeah, and there have been a lot of spin-offs, both live action and I guess
Oh my
non-live
goodness.
Oh yeah, I
action.
saw some.
Have you guys seen the trailer for the Death Note live action for? Is it
Which
for
one?
Netflix? Did
The
Netflix
Japanese one or
took
the
it?
American
I
one?
think it might have been
American.
for a
Oh,
Netflix,
okay.
one of those two. But I know that I probably wouldn't like have high hopes for it because like with a
No.
lot of live action things, they tend to not do the original justice. But yeah, it noticeably was like popular. Same with Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is
Oh,
I
very
think
old
is
school.
I think qualifies as like art in a lot of ways.
Oh
And
hell
how
yeah,
it
it's
like
very
fits
pretty.
these different concepts of like, I don't know, like mental health and, growing up without a father, those kind of
Mhm.
things.
Oh
So,
Crazy
gosh, yeah. I
deep
think
stuff.
anime touch a lot on those emotional aspects, which
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of cartoons cannot do. Like some cartoons, I would say.
Mhm.
But that's interesting. It's really cool. Uh, I don't know. For me though, my first anime, and I didn't know it was called anime at the time, was either Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Dragon Ball. It's one of those three. Those are the three big names I remember when I was a kid.
That's like
I,
everyone's big three.
Mhm.
and I think what was I think the main reason why I was drawn onto them is the same way as Daniel. It's just the way the characters are drawn, so dramatic and or emotions. I guess that's the best way to put it for me. It actually brought up some questions for me to you, Daniel. How relatable you think life is of an anime character is to reality? Like, do they always show the main character if you work hard? If you work hard, they always show the main character. Like, if you work hard, then you eventually achieve those kind of goals. Do you think that can relate to like what is today?
Um, I think part of the appeal of anime for me is that it's not very relatable.
Nope.
So a lot, a lot of animes that I sort of like are drawn to, like Hunter x Hunter or like Attack on Titan, are things that objectively probably aren't things that I think about in the real world. Like I don't think about having to defend myself against like giant naked humanoid beasts
Or
on
aliens.
a day basis. And even like the more human elements, like conflicts between people in power or like politics, like I think broadly speaking, they have some applicability. Like I
Mhm.
think some of the more like action, world building animes have something to say about politics. They're usually not the things that I sort of relate to. Like the sort of things that I can find some relation to are like the slice of life, kind of like, oh, you're in high school and you're you're trying to like get in touch with this boy, or and like you're this girl trying to get their attention, and like
Oh,
you're
I'm
sort
in
of
love.
fumbling your way, being awkward about it. I think where it becomes non-relatable is that it always ends in a happy ending. And
Oh
like the
yeah.
awkward, socially anxious, like guy with, all these quirks and all these like non-redeemable qualities ends up in like a very unrealistic, kind of outcome, and like
One,
ends up either getting superpowers or getting the girl for no reason because he doesn't have that much of a personality. And so I think for the most part, anime is not relatable. And that's what makes it fun, because you can sort of laugh at or kind of cringe at, these sort of caricatures of life.
yeah, I
Yeah,
do
because
agree, but just hearing that, I feel like that probably crushed some viewers or listeners out there already. Hearing that.
I want to be
Being
the main
honest.
character. Goddamn, I'm a side character.
Well, what was the most tear-jerking scene for you in general within the film industry, whether it's anime or like a movie? Like for me, it will be like this one anime I watched last year. It's called Somali and the Forest of Spirits. The summary of the story, sorry if I'm spoiling you, if any viewers out there or listeners, but it's about a forest spirit protecting and teaching a human child girl about the world, and all the spirit want to do is just to be there for her, and she just and just find her a proper home. It's really sad at the end because she told the spirit that the spirit is her home, and this and the spirit just didn't have time either. Like he was getting old, he needs to be sent on to the afterlife, and he was just trying really hard. And sorry if I went on a little side tangent there.
No, no,
It's just something that I can relate.
yeah.
No, no, that sounds really sad. What was it called again?
Somali and the forest spirit.
Oh, okay, I gotta look that up myself.
Check
Is it
that
like
out.
the give? Is it like the Giving Tree? Kind of sounds like the Giving Tree.
I guess so, but I don't think I've seen that.
You ever read the Giving Tree?
I don't think I read it.
Dude, that's like elementary. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think I read that.
I'll show you later.
All right. Is there anything that you want to go forward with, Brandon?
Uh, for one thing, I don't watch a lot of anime, so I don't know any of this stuff. Just started off with Dragon Ball, the usual stuff. Like it's pretty cool. I saw the new movie, loved it. Live action sucks. The usual stuff.
Okay, well, moving on from anime though, how did you become a software engineer? Was it something that you dreamt about doing when you were young, Daniel, or is it just happen, uh, or that this is something that you feel like is meant for you to do as a career?
Mhm.
So I actually have like a interesting relationship with software engineering early on in life. So
Really?
back when I was a kid and I sort of saw sort of my dad working in the tech industry, I sort of thought, oh man, that is something I definitely do not want to do, because he spends all the time sort of on the computer screen. Sometimes even late into the night, he might get like paged for being on call for something. And it just been like, oh, it's like a miserable, like, what is he doing? Is he just, like staring at the computer, and, where's the impact in society kind of
I
thing.
know, right? It happens a
So I
lot.
didn't really have a concept of what software engineering was until I got to high school.
Mhm.
And I took AP Computer Science, which was an interesting experience. It was taught through this program in Microsoft called the TEALS program, where Microsoft employees come as volunteers to teach computer science courses to local high schools. And for that, I think I got interested in like the mechanics of programming. But again, just through like my instructor and like the way that the course was structured, I didn't really know like that it's more than just staring at a computer screen. It does have some impact in life. And that's what I learned in college. So my first CS class in college, my teacher there was pretty inspiring. He talked about the sort of biomedical, the political, like environmental use cases of software, and how like things like AI, machine learning, like building systems, automating away paper, can
Oh
have
yeah,
all
a
these
lot of
like
categories.
really, really big impacts in society. And at that point, I was like, yes, this is something that is, can offer a lot of opportunity, and it's going to be something that I can like feel good about doing. And so I sort of got interested into it when I got into college, majored in it, got even more interested in like the technical aspects as well. So both the tech side of tech and the impact side of tech are the things that kind of kept me there. And I just went from there. So yeah, I used to think that, I would be like a psychologist or something working in the medical field, but I
I know
guess
that seemed like
Oh my
you.
gosh, like
Growing up, it's like
psychiatrist?
to us. I wouldn't mind talking to you about that kind of stuff if you had that job.
yeah, and that stuff is still interesting to me,
Mhm.
like the sort of how do we make decisions, how do we form societies, why do we do the things that we do?
So
But
many
I've
questions.
learned that even with that, I can sort of integrate it into being a software engineer. So
Mm.
like a lot of that even matters, like when you're building things for people, because you have to understand people to like build products for people. So I think
Mhm.
it's like a pretty broad and expansive field.
Yeah.
That's
So, Mr.
amazing.
Computer, how do you think?
That's amazing. Yeah, I dabble onto AI, and yeah, definitely see some cool interesting things that's being produced out in the world. So yeah. Uh anyway though, what was your journey like for you? Was there any bumps along the way?
There was a little bit of bumps when I got to college. So I went to the University of Washington,
Mhm.
and their degree programs are sort of, you get into the college as like a pre-engineering or pre-science major, and then
Mhm.
like after your first like couple of years, you get like the prerequisites to apply to whatever major you want to apply to. So if you wanted to apply to the engineering college or to the medical school like pre-med, you would go through their application process. And because it was what's known as a capacity constrained school, so there were more people applying than there were spots in the program for each cohort. The
Oh
programs there were
gosh.
like pretty competitive depending on which program you wanted to do. And computer science was the most competitive. So it had something like a 30% acceptance rate when I was there. And
Really? Wow.
That is low.
That's
My
super low.
goodness.
yeah, it's not even the lowest. Like there was this program called Human Computer Design Engineering, like HCD is what it was called. And that
Big
had like a
names.
15% acceptance rate when I
15%?
15% when I was still there. It was a very small program. But but that's beside the point. So the first time I applied, I actually got rejected from computer
Oh,
science.
okay.
That was during my sophomore year. And it was sort of like between there, I had basically one shot of getting into computer science or like a related major so that I could finish my degree on time. And
Mhm.
like that sort of posed like the challenge of like, how do I bring my grades up? I was commuting at the time, so I had a lot less time between studying at home, getting up at 6 a.m., going to the bus to get to school, and then coming back. And just, the combination of like taking the hard science requirements that I needed and putting in the hours to actually get what was it, like the bare minimum, like
Oh yeah, right.
5 out of 4 that I needed to sort of like tip myself over the edge.
Just that score, just that score.
Yeah, and spending countless hours on my essay, getting people to review it. So I think that was like my main bump, is to like get into the program, and everything else was comparatively easier after that. It was a lot less stressful once I had a defined road, but it could have gone either way. A lot of people don't get in, and some of them end up transferring to a different UW campus. They end up going to a related degree like applied mathematics. And so I think I'm very lucky in how I
Oh
got
yeah,
there, even though
because
it's
anything could have
not
happened
easy.
Oh
for real.
gosh, yeah, damn, that's amazing. I actually that's actually very inspiring, and I really like the fact that you didn't give up. So that's really amazing in my eyes. So thanks for that. And and I do find it amazing how people overcome their bumps or unexpected turns in life. Since we're on the topic, I was wondering, since we're still in the age of COVID, how do you think you're handling that situation right now?
Ooh, I mean, I feel like pre-vaccine, I was a lot more conscious about sort of everything around me, everything I was doing. But now I sort of integrated COVID into sort of my routine. So I go outside or I go inside some Uber. I always bring my mask. I always make sure to wash my mask regularly. I always make
Sanitize.
sure that like I bring my vaccine card if I have to go to any place that has like a vaccine requirement, vaccine verification requirement. And yeah, just reading the news more to see like what the different state regulations are.
I know, right? Yeah.
COVID, I wasn't very aware of like what my governor was doing or like what the local CDC regulations were sort of recommending. Like I got my flu shots like every year, and that was sort of like the
Right.
extent of how aware I was of public health. But now I'm always checking like at least once a week, like are there any new closures? Are there any new recommendations? Is Delta gonna be giving us any sort of new scares? Like, do I have to worry about masks outside versus inside? So I think for the most part, it's just been another thing to be wary of.
Oh my
Definitely.
goodness.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
most definitely. And I'm guessing, are you working remote right now, or like how is your company handling that with you when you're working?
I'm working remote. I've been working remote since last year. We've had plans to return to the office like on and off. Like pre-Delta, we were supposed to return January of next year.
Oh, okay. Wow.
We'll see when that actually happens.
Yeah.
The other complicating factor is that my company doesn't have an office right now. It's currently being built. And so once that
Oh,
gets built,
Oh,
okay.
what? I did not
yeah,
know that.
yeah, there was like this whole thing where we were moving from like our old HQ to like a new HQ. And then COVID happened and that delayed all of our construction
Messed
plans.
everything up.
And so that's sort of where we're at right now. It's been interesting working remotely. I think I've grown to like it in a lot of ways, but I would look forward to like maybe 2 or 3 days a week coming to the office.
Be
Gosh, I
nice.
definitely need human interactions at least sometime in our life, or else you're just
Oh,
sticking
human
at home. It's just
interaction.
like I
It's so
feel.
interesting, like how the people that I like met during my internship, like how much closer I feel with them than like the people that I work with every day on my team that I've only met on like the Zoom carousel.
Oh,
Yeah, for
what?
real.
You're getting closer to your interns compared to like your actual workers?
Well, like the
You have any
people that I met
friends?
during my internship, so like my
Oh,
mentors or like the people that I worked on my old team versus like the people that I work with like every day. Although it's like that's like a hard statement to say because like I still feel close to them. It's just I feel close to them in a different way.
Yeah, yeah, because there are differences like work friends, school friends, like close friends, like childhood friends. Those are all like they're all different subjects.
or at
Yeah.
least just different how you behave among like how close you are with everybody. Honestly,
Mhm.
like that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So yeah, that's very interesting to hear that, Daniel. I'm shocked that it's still remote. I thought a lot of companies are like starting to like
Come
go
back
ahead,
together.
yeah, heading back to office. But yeah, I'm shocked by it, by hearing that.
I mean,
uh,
it's kind of a good thing because
it
it's sort
is.
of playing it's sort of playing it as safe as I think we should. Because not everyone's vaccinated. Not
No.
everyone has
Wants to.
not everyone's fully aware of like the Delta variant or like the other variants of what that's gonna do.
Mm,
Um, People are like doing a lot of like last minute traveling because they're worried about things closing down. So there's no telling how things are going to be in the fall. So I
mhm,
think compared to like other companies who are like doing option or like hybrid reopenings,
mhm.
I think it makes the most sense to continue remote, especially if like we're software engineers, you can work anywhere, honestly. Like you don't need like equipment or anything.
You just need
You
a laptop.
Yeah, yeah.
just need a
You just need
laptop
to do
and
it from
an
home.
internet connection.
Oh
So
gosh, it's amazing. So pretty much once you're done, you can just go straight to bed in your own home or take a nap or something.
Oh yeah, sleep right next door.
Have a lot of free time afterwards after work.
yeah, the flexibility has been something that I've been really thankful for. Like if I need to get get a package, or if I need to step out to go take a walk, if I need to go get groceries in the middle of the day, it's
Oh
so
yeah.
easy to just say that I'm gonna do that and then come back and like do my work whenever I need to. So
No. Because the grocery is just I'm pretty sure the grocery store is just down there.
Yeah, pretty sure it's walking distance, but that's good. That's amazing actually for me. Now that it's amazing how our world is changing, heading
Mhm.
towards a remote and trying to adapt to change. And I do hear that we're starting to mandate masks again as well. So I don't know how people are gonna feel about that.
I hate I hate it just because it evolved because of the people who don't want to wear masks. It's
yeah,
just ridiculous. But hey, well, what can you do?
I mean it's beginning to become
Mhm.
more suggested. At least in California, they're recommending people wear masks indoors
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, they're recommending it over there.
Yeah,
Recommend.
they're recommending it for indoor spaces, and like some places that I've gone to are now requiring vaccine cards to show that you can actually enter.
Yeah.
So
Because
it's
we still have
a
some
weird
stores like that
time
too.
that we're in.
So we only have like one more question left. Is there anything that you want to ask, Brandon?
Uh, like how long you been in California now? Shoot.
Oh man, it's in total, I think it's like close to a month.
Oh, close to
I've
a
been in
month.
my new place probably like 3 weeks, something like that.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, it's times fly.
Time flies so fast. It's like,
Now,
was it
now that
all
we're
just
on that,
business?
Oh, it was like I wanted to sort of branch out. I wanted to move while it was
Mhm.
still summer and the prices and rents were a little bit lower than they
Mhm.
would be in a couple months. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just seemed like a good time. I got vaccinated. It seemed safe to travel.
Yeah.
And
You got a
yeah,
hot sun. You got pretty girls around you. The usual stuff.
yeah.
I
Oh,
don't think I don't
the
think those things are in his mind. I think he's
I know
just
that's not important. I know. Yeah, I'm just
he
saying.
has bigger goals than that.
Mhm.
well,
Uh,
yeah, like
Like
it's
you're always welcome back home, though.
yeah, like I'll like branch out in whatever ways. Like the place that I'm in is actually very
Mhm.
homey in a lot of ways. Like a lot of people with strollers, a lot of people with dogs,
Well, that's
and like at night on Fridays and Saturdays, everybody kind of goes to this one park that I live by, and
well,
like
really.
do like outdoor cinemas and like food trucks and stuff like that.
Oh my
And
God,
that's
that
something
sounds
that I never
cool.
really got living at
Mhm.
home because I was like in the burbs,
is
like
that
in
like
Oh
a
yeah,
weekly
same,
thing?
same.
Is that like a weekly thing at the park where they just sit?
yeah, every week they do
Oh,
sort of like
what?
outdoor something. And that's something that I just found about like a couple weeks ago, which is kind of awesome.
And
That that
That's
since
always nice.
Brandon brought that up about like how long you lived there, how was the move actually? Like, was it difficult moving from state to state?
Oh my God.
it wasn't easy. That's for sure.
Sounds about right.
I basically had no furniture that I was bringing over, and I
Mhm.
didn't know what actual space I was going to be in when I moved. So
Yeah, or
the
even
first
what
week
to
was
bring.
just all shopping around for apartments.
Mhm.
So different neighborhoods, different locations, different quality of places, different price points. There were some places that were like below ground and they were in not so nice neighborhoods that were more expensive than this place. And just going through these different applications. So that took like an entire week to before I got actually to know where I was gonna live. And in all this time I was like using my vacation days. So I was like, oh man, I have to get a place so that I don't like start work in a month
Oh
and
man, you had to
Right.
hurry.
all,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
this stress, like
Oh
I'm gonna have
gosh.
all this stuff to catch up on. And so after that, I was like set on getting furniture in the place because I didn't have a bed to sleep on when I got here.
Yeah,
So,
usually, yeah, I hear that a lot.
Oh my
so I
goodness.
spent most of my time just furnishing the bare necessities and
Mhm.
then eventually getting my desk, getting the rest of my furniture. And yeah, like those things took a good couple weeks between like getting them in, getting them upstairs, assembling them. But luckily, I had some help from my family that first week with the bigger furniture, like my bed and my um, chairs and things like that. So without their help, I think it would have been a lot harder. But
Oh yeah.
That's
still took
very
a
nice.
good chunk
I
of time.
love getting support from
I
our
can't imagine
family.
people working during that either. So I took like 2.5 weeks off just to focus on that.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Very okay, guys. That seems to be all the time that we have left. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us today. Do you want to have a shout out or promote anything before we end the podcast?
Yeah, sure. So as I said, I work at Stripe. It's a great company, really great opportunities growing. And if you're looking for an internship or a new grad opportunity, positions just opened up. So head on over to Stripe, new grad opportunities, and please apply. It's a wonderful company, and I think you will really enjoy your experience there. So just wanted to plug that.
All right. And thank you again, guys, for tuning in and watching us on YouTube. You can follow us on other social medias such as Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and yeah, you guys can follow us on there. And I guess that's all the boba we have left. Catch you guys on the next episode.
Nice.
Bye, guys.